everyone, I'm Dee. Welcome to my cooking channel Dee's Knees. Today I'll be making you chopped chip cookies, so let's get started. Okay, I'll walk you through the ingredients for the chopped chip cookies. We have 125 grams of butter at room temperature, 4 ounces, 1 cup of raw caster sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, 2 cups of sifted plain flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a little pinch of salt, half a cup of desiccated coconut, and how many grams? 150 grams all up of good quality baking chocolate. I used Cadbury's, and I decided to use 2, like dark chocolate and milk chocolate. You can use one or mix them up, whatever you do. So I'd use 75 grams of dark chocolate and 75 grams of the milk chocolate. Let's start cooking. Okay, first up you need to preheat your oven to 190 degrees Celsius, which is about 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll do that. And also just line 2 baking trays with baking paper so the biscuits won't stick. Okay, so we add the softened butter. I've actually put mine through the microwave just for a little bit because it was taking its time. It's winter here, so it's not getting too soft at room temperature. So just throw the butter in with the sugar and just slowly stir that. Beat that through until it's a nice creamy consistency. It shouldn't take too long now that I've put it through the microwave. Okay, so once that's done, you get your 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, add that to the eggs, and just whisk them together. Stir that through till it's well combined. That looks nice and smooth. And now it's time to add all the dry ingredients. So I've already sifted my flour, so I'll just add that a little at a time. It'll start getting very stiff soon, but you just slowly got to stir it through. Now at this stage I'll add the baking powder and the salt and the coconut to the rest of the flour, which I haven't stirred through the mix yet. We'll get that a little stir together. And just slowly keep adding to the mix until it's all done. It's just about done. At that stage I'll pour in the chocolate. These biscuits are so nice, I can eat them all up in one day. But I think I'll be sending half of these off for my boys. And there we go. Very stiff mix, but that's what biscuit mix or cookie mixes are like. We call them biscuits here in Australia. There. Now it's time to spoon them out and put them on the trays ready to cook. Get your prepared trays ready, and it's just a matter of getting spoonfuls at a time, rolling them out and placing them on the trays. Now once you've filled your tray up, I just like to flatten them slightly. With my fingers, you can use the back of the spoon if you like, but it's just as easy to do it this way. And there you have it. So just do the same with the rest of the mix. Okay, at this stage they're all ready to go in the oven. My mix made 21 all up, so you should get a couple of dozen depending on the size if you make them a bit smaller. But yeah, all ready to go in the oven. And just put mine in the middle of the rack and keep a good eye on them. I set mine for about 10 minutes. It could take more, but I don't like mine overly brown. I like mine quite white still and soft. But go ahead and cook them a bit longer if you like them really crunchy and well browned. We'll come back when they're all cooked. Okay, so they are done. Now the important thing is just to leave them on the tray to cool until they're completely cold, and then you can place them on the wire rack for a bit longer after that. We'll put the other lot in. Put the temperature back to 190 degrees Celsius, and I think I'll stick them in for 8 minutes and then check them. Okay, just checking the second batch of cookies after 8 minutes of cooking. And that's about perfect for me. Just slightly brown on the edges. Some of them aren't, but they're still well cooked. And put it on the countertop to cool. The first batch still a bit warm, so they can sit there until they're done. Okay, the first batch is cooled completely, so they're only just touching. I did spread out a bit more than I thought, but still they're not as bad as some biscuits or cookies. Okay, so just carefully place them on a cooling rack and just let them air for another half hour, just to make sure they're completely dry and cooled down, and then they're ready to eat. You can store them in an airtight container for a few days as well, but I don't think they'll last that long. Not at my place anyway. And that's it. Ready to eat.